Your thoughts and prayers, thoughts and hairs. What's happening with Ice Cube, P Diddy, Kanye? We got all these people involving themselves in the political cycle that we ain't seen since Voter Die. I think Puffy did a Voter Die something campaign maybe 20 years ago, and Diddy ran the city and he was running for something. And now Ice Cube is here after he was doing no Vaseline. Now he's using Vaseline. I don't know what's happening. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think, so first of all, I think Black people are always held to a higher moral standard. So when people come for Ice Cube in this way, I have been like, Ice Cube has a right to his political process. He's a tax-paying citizen. My question is, when I went to Israel, I learned this concept that Jewish people have called the we. Right? There's a word for the we, which means all of us, whether you're in Russia, you're in Boston, they operate as the we. You want to go to Israel for your birthright, they make way for it. Why is it so, we all know why it's difficult, but how do we start finding our way to the we as Black people, people of color in this country? Why is Diddy having one thing going on over here and then Ice Cube have something going on over here? We lack solidarity, and we don't have the wealth. You just talked about a Black bank that still doesn't have $1 billion, but collectively we do have the wealth. And if we thought as the we could probably demand something in this country. We just continue to. Everything is a sport. Everything is it's competitiveness. It's you either like Rihanna or you like Beyonce, you like J-Lo or you like Salma Hayek. It's always this. I just think we should take a look at what Asian people did when they did Crazy Rich Asians. There's an organization called the Golden Circle. They all got together. They pooled all of the Asian Americans, whether you are a doctor, you a lawyer, you're an actress, you're a comedian, you're an athlete, all of them, they got together and they made a decision that they were going to support this movie because they needed to make an impact in Hollywood so that they can get power. And they were able to do that because, Asians are like the Latinx community, the Koreans and the Vietnamese and the Chinese. And there's a lot of differences culturally within. They're not a monolith, but they made a decision that if they wanted to have power, they were going to have to become a collective. And we need to find that in this country. I think it's great, but as Jay-Z said, you can't change you can't change the game in the ninth inning. I just want to know where everybody was when there were 11 candidates on that stage. Like all of a sudden. And I just think, as I said earlier, politics has become mainstream, just like activism. Everybody got T-shirts. The president of the United States sells merch. That's how back far we've gone in this country. That's how toxic the capitalism is. So when you sit here and you talk about these people who have these agendas and they're trying to rally their teams, that's what got us in this mess in the first place.
Ida's here. Funny Ida, AIDA, Funny Ida on the Twitters. Thank you for that. When you said it's like a battle rap, Kanye, Diddy, Ice is like a battle rap, and now it's political, but we're the football. We, Black people, and we're being tugged and forced to choose sides. And in this period where Trump, who is not a political person, he is a carnival barker marketing animal, loves all the division. It only serves him. And so if we want to have any reparations or any gains, we are going to have to do the we. I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm reading this article about Jaden Smith and Willow feeling ostracized by Black people, and it broke my heart, because those were kids. You can say what you want about, Will and Jada's parenting, but they're kids that aren't hurting anybody. And they're being free to be themselves. And Black people did have something to say about Willow and Jaden growing up as kids. And they felt shunned from Black people. And we should be ashamed of ourselves. Not us in this room, of course, because we're all right.
No, we don't have that. I mean, look at all the stuff they said about Blue Ivy's hair. And when I say they, I'm talking about people. I'm not even speaking specifically about Black people, but I'm saying we got to hold ourselves accountable for our children. And that is the thing I'm talking about with the we. They belong to the village. We're supposed to protect them at all costs. They belong to us, whether they sound like they from the valley or they sound like they from the hood. They all belong to us. And we're going to be screaming that we're not a monolith, and we have to accept our brothers and sisters who are different, come from different aspects. Guess what doesn't change? Their Blackness. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter how much money they have. To a certain group of people who see us as less than, still see us as 3/5 of a human being. They're not exempt from that just because they have money.
You know what's an interesting parallel to the we, or even a more surface example, is the Republican Party, because that's all they do is we. Everybody stays on code. I don't care what you saw today that made you feel some kind of way, whether it was true or not, or a lie. Everybody's on code, and it's all about the party. And you know, Black folks in America, we could and should be the same way. Where, you know, that concept, like everybody's riding for us, is for the culture. I wish it was like that. Wish it was that easy.
Well, we're going to keep working on it, because I'm not giving up on that. I'm not giving up on the we. 866-801-8255. And I think we're more we than we're not we. But I think we allow for those flare-ups to define us, and we don't check people in the moment, which is what I said, you know, at the top of the show. Ida, you weren't here, but I was like, Ice Cube is a result of us giving license to celebrities to take a front position without any background, experience, wisdom, knowledge. We put him on pedestals. So why wouldn't he think he could speak for all of us? That's our fault. It was like, no, stay in your lane. 866-801-8255. That's cute. That song was cute, but doesn't make you a spokesperson just because you had some clever lyrics at some point. And you might have done some good things in movies and in business. But, you know, no, you are not the person that should be delivering this.
Yeah, it makes me so sad, because there are so many people who are on the ground, who wake up every morning to go do the job, to work for our communities, who don't have a lot of followers on Instagram because they're not TikTok dancing and they're not doing, they are actually working for our civil rights. They are actually working for our freedoms as people of color, Black people, women, and we don't give them the microphone. We don't shine the light on them. But then, yes, use your platform to create a way for those people. Use your millions of followers to create a way for those leaders whose shoes are broken on the bottom because they walking, knocking door to door, asking people for money, who show up every day. And when you go back to the set or the studio, or I go back to the stage, they will still be doing that work. And that is what bothers me the most.